It was about 3 years ago that Frances got to our group, coffee morning group on the Southern Highlands, when she was looking for somebody to make the facades for the shadow boxes. And I thought it was a good idea that I could do that, but the problem was that I didn't have any pictures of the facades of the Dutch houses, but one of the blokes out there came up with a booklet, and I copied that booklet, and the result was that we get these facades pictures. This is the one that I wanted to work on, Koevoorden. We had that picture, and then we had to pick out the top of the facade, and that all had to be worked out in the scale, etc. And then it had to be transferred to the wood and cut out, and that's how it came about. But then put onto the boxes that were supplied by Frances. The design of this house was made for a box horizontal, so instead of making an upright box, I decided to put this facade onto a horizontal box, and it fitted the design of the house better on the box, and that was made for that particular facade. The shape of the facade was put onto the scale of the box, and then it was cut out and made that way that it fitted and looked good. I never went to any particular school for any schooling or for this. I just thought about it, and that seemed to be the best way to do it. Our particle board. Actually MBF, which is a better type of particle board. And they were all different shapes and sizes, and I couldn't change that. I just had to, but I had to improve on the strength of them because they were not always the best quality.
Where did you work on these?
In my own workshop in Welby. There's another couple of photos here. The top one I'm stapling the boxes together. That is different boxes. And in the bottom one I'm cutting the sheets up. This particular one is the tower boxes, which are completely different than the ones with the shadow boxes. These are self-contained, self-standing, they don't hang on the wall. And the bottom photo shows you that how we cut up the sheets. It's got to be done alongside a ruler so that it is always completely straight, otherwise you go all over the place. You must have been pretty confident that I was going to do the job that you wanted.
Yeah, if I hadn't been happy with what you'd done, I would have certainly told you so.
The pity about the first box, because that was initial trying, and the doors were made in connection with the facade.
Yes.
I think that still should have been blocked up. Still should have been separated.
But still, it's done.
When the box opened and the facade is gone. Now, that took about half a year on and off all day. Every day a little. It's a beautiful project, and I think Joe Stott did a very good job too. If she wasn't a very good painter, the job would have fallen down.
These dioramas are representation of the life of the Dutch from the 1900s to the end to about 1950s, 60s, somewhere there. And it depicts how people lived in that time, and it represents the memories of the migrants when they came to Australia. And I thought it was an important component to add on to the exhibition. We're looking at the Klomper house at the moment, and that is a typical Klomper or clog shop from that era.
Because I enjoy being a woodworker. For other people I design all kind of specialist furniture that they want. They tell me what they want and I design it and I put it together.
How many hours do you reckon you've spent on these shadow boxes?
Oh, say about 6 hours a day, and off and on, for about half a year.
Right.
So yes, it's quite a few hours in it. It took me about half a year altogether to get them all done. But a lot of time, of course, went into the making the work photos and putting the scale together, that it would fit on the boxes. The boxes were a different size than the photo, so it had to be made into a scale, either flattened or made bigger. That, of course, was all worked out on the work drawings. One side, that was the height from the bottom line, and the other side was the width from the center line, and that's how I worked it out.
Right.
And of course I had that was the scale, the photo size, and then I had the box size, and that made the scale. It's all just plain logical thinking, I think. But
depends on.
I wasn't any time taught about that, how to do that, but it's just logical thinking.
And you're pleased with all the results?
Yeah, yes. Yes, it worked out all right. It worked out very nice.